Tell us your story. How has it been? It's been rough, I'm sure, during the pandemic. And
When do you want the story to start?
well, when you were 5. No. Maybe at the pandemic and how you survived and managed through it, and if any of the grant money was helpful to you.
Well, it's still going on.
Yes,
I mean, you're
absolutely.
You are standing in, I'll be honest and blunt, you're standing in one of the most unfairly treated and restricted operations in Dane County. So I just need to set that stage, okay? Because when you ask about the grant money, and we applied for the PPPs, got the PPPs, every grant that we could possibly qualify for, we were on top of it and we got all that. But the mathematics just don't work out when we're shut down as a bar by Dane County Public Health from July 1st of 2021 to March 10th July 1st of 2020 to March 10th of 2021. That's 9 months, that's 251 days, because we don't have a 51% food requirement at the restaurant. So I'm just setting the stage so that you understand what our situation was.
Yes.
So we were restricted to 0% capacity. Now I have a liquor store down the street, Cannery Wine and Spirits. So during a pandemic, that's great.
Yeah.
We're to have a business in a pandemic, own a liquor store.
Note to self, right?
But a bar in Dane County,
It's a different story.
we were slaughtered. So we could stay open as a retail store here. So we did that so we could try to keep our employees and work. So, but I have a liquor store. This was a bar, and I don't want to be considered a restaurant. I don't want to be considered a bar. We're a tasting room. So when you look at that wall, do you think that's a lot of bottles? It's not.
No?
I want to double that. So we're here to, allow people, we're here to kind of, we're the tasting room. It's 2022. We're not there. We're just tavern.
You're innovative. You've got a new business model.
You have so many distilleries, wineries, and breweries that have been born in the past 20 years in Wisconsin and across the country. It's a different model. It's not the supper club. It's not the taverns of the 70s. It's a tasting type of thing. So we feature the producers. So that's why I don't want to be considered a bar. I don't like people calling us a bar. And I don't want to be considered a restaurant. We allow people to bring their food in from the restaurants. Okay.
So you're supporting the other.
Yes. So it's 0% capacity, but being open as a retail outlet, our sales here during that time dropped 91%. So grant money, boom, gone. That's just vaporized. It's, everything that we got is just to keep this business going.
And your employee.
Yeah. And the frustrating thing about this is that while we were still open and we had to close at 9 p.m., we're in the alcohol industry. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and drugs, those are all, that's a controlled substance. That's a controlled industry. Governmental, very highly restricted, as you know. So if I were working here during the pandemic on a night or a day, and 2 people come down the street wanting to come in and have a beer or something, I had to push them away unless they wanted to buy to go. But I could send them to 6 other places to have a drink. So that to me was unfair.
Understood.
Simply unfair. And that message needs to really get to the governor, because he had sent something, probably 3 or 4 months ago, to people who had received grants, and I wanted to send a message back, but I just don't know how it's going to get to them. But if you can deliver just one message,
Absolutely.
the bars who followed the orders, we followed the orders, but just compensate us for it, or come back, have some accountability, just accountability, come back. But in June, when I get the bill from Dane County Public Health for my license, kind of insulted. Just a little insulted. Because I still had to pay the city my liquor license for $600, my Class B liquor license, which a restaurant was. So the fair thing, and I told Dane County Public Health this, the fair thing would have been to have restaurants not serve alcohol. That would have equalized it, right? So restaurants who are open at 25%, you can't have alcohol. That's equal, that's fair. And they knew that from me, and I offered my advisory services. But
I'll definitely take that and share it as well. And I'm sorry, I know I can only imagine as a business owner myself, I know the difficulties with running businesses and during the pandemic. And I know the governor, as you are well aware, they took away his powers to shut down after the first 3 months as well. So
yep.
I think it's a lesson that we all learned from and during the pandemic, and hopefully we don't have another pandemic that we have to exercise our learnings on.
Monkeypox is right around the corner.
So I know, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully we don't know what's going to become of that at this point, but we certainly all learned a lot, and I will carry your message and share it. And I know the mayor here is very supportive as well, and we all want our businesses to thrive. And new territory, we're grateful that we were able to support you and your employees through that. And it sounds like you're a very innovative person. So having that liquor store as well and being able to pivot into, into that piece at least offered some balance. But I'm sure it was very, very difficult. So I so appreciate you sharing your story.
Also, Secretary, his liquor store was down here at one time, just down the street, and he had to move out, further out on Main Street. So he's gone through that prior to the pandemic even
Gotcha.
started.
Yep.
So he's had a lot of things. Now
There's been a lot of change.
his liquor store is next to Jeff's Beans and Cream.
Oh,
that he
we were
told
just
you
there.
about.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were at the coffee
So,
house.
we're
down there.
talking about the traffic
Yep.
down there, so you had a lot of activity during the pandemic on that site,
Yep.
down there. A lot of people coming into both of them, so that kind of bolstered what you were doing down there.
correct.
Unfortunately, this wasn't going anywhere at that
Yeah.
time.